I was thinking about that Billy Joel song, She's Always a Woman to Me. Great lyrics. Composition is incredible. But there's one line in there that says, she'll bring out the best and the worst you can be. Blame it all on yourself, because she's always a woman to me. And I'll tell you what, there's so much on the web about how a woman can ruin your life. And it's overshadowing all the stuff, the good stuff that a woman can bring to your life. You know, nobody can point out your faults like a woman, right? Nobody. There's no creature on earth that can point out your faults like a woman. But don't you want to work on your faults? Right? So I don't take that lightly if my faults get pointed out. Now, it's not my job to blame the woman if she recognizes things in me that aren't really the most likable things. But when you are intimate with somebody, what happens is they get to know you, the good and the bad. So your wife, your long-term partner, is a mirror to you as a man. That's the good news and the bad news. There is times when I see a tenderness in a woman that I don't see anywhere else in the world. It's like going through the desert or walking in a parking lot that's all blacktop, and all of a sudden you see like a little flower popping up out of a crack. Just a pretty little flower. And you go, how can this beauty exist in the middle of this hardness? That's what a woman can do for a man in the midst of the hardness of his life. A pretty little flower can pop up and be a blessing. It's so easy for me to go back to women are this, women are that. I am not getting on that train, man. I got off that train, ain't doing it. Yeah, but what about when they do this and when they do that? I'm not responsible for that. I'm responsible for me. Women have brought out the best in me. Women have brought out the worst in me. When it comes to the worst, I have to manage that and deal with it. And I'm not defending it. When the best is brought out of me, there's nothing to manage. It's wonderful. If you don't have a woman, don't be afraid of a woman. Don't be afraid. A lot of times women are afraid of men too. I know that. You hear all the guys on YouTube say, yes, but men and women were made for each other. And then it stops right there. Then you never hear anything. How were they made for each other? You know why? Because in the beginning, it wasn't good that man be alone. Do I have times of being alone? Heck yeah. Nobody is more alone than me. As a lay monastic, kind of like a third order type of monk, I spend a lot of time by myself. But there is nothing like the time that I get to spend with a woman. I take care of myself normally. Look good, feel good. Iron my clothes. Get a good beard trim, a haircut. Try to look the best that I can possibly be. And I do it for myself. But you ever hear the phrase, all dressed up and nowhere to go? There's nothing like getting dressed and getting ready for the couple hours before you have a date or a meeting or just meeting for ice cream or taking a stroll. And you do it with purpose. It's like food that is prepared with love always tastes better than food that is just mass prepared and scooped out of large pots and pans onto a plate. There's something about getting dressed, getting shaved, getting trimmed and groomed and brushing your teeth and making sure you look good and smell good and feel good and your attitude is adjusted when it's done with love because you know that there's going to be a recipient of it. Man, that's a beautiful thing. It really is. It really is. What if you adopted the attitude that you bring the best out of you? A woman can bring out the best out of you. A stranger can bring out the best out of you. You can't lose. You can't lose. So don't cut out the blessings that could bring good things out of you. And sometimes those blessings are a woman.
My name is Erin. I use she, her pronouns, and I am this.
And I cruise down the street like a free rider. New shoes on my feet like a free rider. And I move to the beat like a free rider. And I scoot through the week like a free rider. And I scoot through the week like a free rider. Got my new shoes on my feet like a free rider. And I move to the beat like a free rider. Yeah, and I scoot through the week like a free rider. Like a free rider. Like a free rider. Like a free rider. Like a free rider.